Hello and welcome, listeners, to another episode of Tactical Awareness. It's Season 3, Episode 29, O12. Like an Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, we've come back around to our original faction profile with the first faction that Dan ever played in Infinity. So he's going to take the lead as we wrap up this hyperpower with the O12 Prime, the core faction that mixes and matches the other two. So let's check in with Owen and Dan and get this Heroes to Zeros underway. On this computer. I just want to be able to do this on the air. There we go.
Yeah, that audio didn't come through.
Didn't come through? Oh, fuck, I got snapped up by Zoom. Miller time. All right. This is the best part of my day because Dan's taking the wheel yet again. Because it's full circle, everybody.
Probably share my list.
We're back with more Heroes to Zeros. It's O12 this time, O12 Prime, and we've come full circle. This is the original faction review we did way back when Dan started playing Infinity. So he's going to take the lead here, and take us basically home as we round off O12. This is the final installment of this Heroes to Zeros. And then we have to do our usual bitchy fight fest over which faction we're going to do next. And I'm going to once again say, can we just fucking get Toha out of the way? And Owen and I are going to have a knife fight.
No.
That's what and I'll forget what we've done and haven't done again. Because I do not remember at any given time what we have or haven't done. All right, O12 Prime, Dan, it's you, buddy. Dig in here.
O12 with the comeuppance of N5. O12 lost a lot of their little mercenary peeps, which really helped me build a lot of my original lists. Like they had the duo of motorized bounty hunters, which was just super order efficient, run in, guns blazing, suiciding, and always taking way more of their points with them. Yep. And that just kind of doesn't exist anymore, which is a little sad. But we have fire teams now.
You have real life fire teams.
We have real life fire teams. We got
two duos, which are the best, and one Harris.
Yeah. We got two duos, and it's kind of hard to fit all the duos, but it's kind of, you can just use them not to gain bonuses so much, but just order efficiency when moving up the board, kind of thing, which is kind of nice. Thinking like Lawkeeper, Roadbots, and Okos, which is the utility bot. Just kind of moving up together. They're all really fast. But then you got a Harris, and the Harris can include Omegas and Gammas. Mm-hmm. And those are models that are wonderful, and they're awesome, and they're unique to O12 vanilla. There's a lot of unique O12 models. And I had like 5 different lists. I'm like, and I just like rolled a dice to see which one I brought.
That's amazing.
Today to share. But let's go through it. Start off with a Mint, because there's a lot of decent lieutenant options. You want that chain of command, and so Mint is always going to be in these lists. I'm pretty sure every single one. And then I brought 2 Gammas. So Gammas are like mini tags. They're kind of like a wrecker points value, but you don't get the actually the Fuhrbach is like the exact same points as a wrecker, you get Warhorse and you get BS14. So are they linking with someone else? Like,
so I have 2 Vidocs as well, and so they link with one Vidoc as a Harris. They don't have to, but more or less the Fuhrbach Gamma stands up and tries to blow up the world in an arrow.
Right.
And if he dies, then the other Vidoc steps up, and then they Harris with the Gamma Lieutenant, and then the 6 dice HMG has fun.
The 6 dice HMG is bananas.
So the Gamma BS14, Armor 6, BTS 6, with 2 wounds and no wounding cap.
And never get tired of this guy.
Almost like a tag, almost. You don't have that extra layer of unconscious, but Warhorse is a wonderful addition, so can't be isolated as a heavy infantry. Always super nice. BS attack plus 1 burst, and so that you either has an HMG or a Fuhrbach. So HMG 5 dice, really great. HMG 5 dice with special dice is
You're like, I'll fight anything. I don't care how bad the odds are. I'm rolling 5 dice. I'm gonna get a crit. Don't you worry. Also courage. But that's basically it. They're just solid dudes, 6'2" movement. And I've always tried to use them, and they by themselves they just couldn't quite cut it. But now with the upgrade of Warhorse and the ability to link, I think there's something there. And a Fearbach, again, even on active turn, Fearbach, you get the special dice and you get the +1 burst. So like 4 dice Fearbach or 3 dice with the explosive ammo.
Right.
It's like, hey, Fearbach seems pretty good all of a sudden. So that's why I have the 2. They pretty much just duo with themselves until one of them dies, and then the Vidocs they're kind of cheerleaders in the back. The Doctor maybe to pick one up, if possible, and then duo. Or sorry, they're the 2 of the same with the 1 gamma to run up the board with. Bring a Raven Eye because that's a cheap order and it's really good. Flashball Spot, Fuzzball, 8 points. Again, just looking for cheap orders to fit more fun things in. Bring in a Moonraker with 2 Moonrakers, one in one group, one in the other, because Moonrakers are still super solid. And the addition is just super, super nice to vanilla. A Blue Coat, because why not? Because Blue Coats solve a lot of problems when they need to.
Sure do.
Also, relatively cheap order. The Tack-Aware Utility Bot Oko is, again, just one of my favorite models. With the Climbing Plus, it does objectives almost better than anyone else. Cyberghost Hacker, Hacking Device Plus. When you need it, that white noise is absolutely wonderful, especially helping your gammas fight. And I brought a Lambda Engineer. I don't even know why. I just want to fit him in with that adhesive launcher rifle and adhesive launcher rifle arm turret. I mean. So He's got the combat rifle, he's got decharges, but mostly if I do get hacked in some way, then I can get him out. And then a Gangbuster. I used to bring 2 Gangbusters every single game because it's a fun little killer hacker in the midfield and drops a Mad Trap, which can be really fun just delaying them moving up the board. But this way the Cyber Ghost throws his pitcher, and then the Gangbuster can also use his killer hacking device offensively, because normally he doesn't. He kind of just hides in mask and running up and being a specialist.
Yeah.
So it's basically if the Gammas don't pull their weight, you're in trouble. But it's just kind of like hey, let's see if this works.
Right.
Because I'm spending 101 points on 2 Gammas, but I think it's decently solid.
Well, it is a greatest hits. It's kind of taking the best of the previous 2 armies.
Yeah, the Vidocs, I think is a very popular choice of Vanilla 12, is you take 2 Vidocs, either 2 15-point ones, or you splurge for the Doctor because they're babysitting either a Gamma or an Alpha. And that's kind of your Harris to give a Gamma or Alpha that special dice and makes them just more lethal.
So you haven't taken any of the unique to O12 Prime stuff, though, that I noticed. Team Serious. I guess the Gamma. Yeah, the Gamma is. That's right.
Because of
the Alpha, the Gamma, Team
everything
Serious.
else, it just had to be super cheap orders, really.
Yeah. We're kind of stuck in that.
But in all my other lists, I've embraced all of it.
Quervo can be only taken in this faction. So I'm just curious as to the Delta is only available in this too. I'm curious as to which of us chose any of the things that are only available here.
Razor got to glow up, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it soon. I brought razors.
Go! Use your razors.
So my list is even more stupid.
Laser and Nisha. I don't know. Mine's pretty stupid.
Is yours a link of a Gamma Omega? Because originally it was
I do have,
three
but
Omegas.
I have an Omega.
So my Harris, it was originally just 3 Omegas before I realized that a Gamma could also join, and I didn't need the 3rd Omega. So it's Alpha Lieutenant with the command. He's gonna die, but I don't care. He's mostly there because of his strategos. If I'm going first, I can hold all 3 of these dorks in reserve by spending a command token, which he gave an extra one for. So I could put my Harris of 100 and almost 40 points wherever I want, filled with Mim 6 Firewall, Specialist, HMG, Heavy Riot Stoppers. They're all BS-14. I have a duo of jackboots. One is the Engineer Emitter, who I was missing from the other one. He can unstuck my Gamma Omegas if needed. But he's also a good pylon with his emitter because he's duoed with his Panzerfaust paramedic friend. I've got my Moonrakers because you can't go home without them. Ament, it's opposite side of the alpha. You got to kill both of us. And then I brought 2 Razor Mine Layers. And the Razor Mine Layer has monofilament mines. And I just think that's hilarious.
I just think that's neat.
Because he's going to deploy in the midfield, and then he's going to put his mine back so it looks like a Moonraker mine.
Yeah.
And it's not a Moonraker mine.
And you're going to go walk into it, and it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Razors, let's talk about that guy, because he's, again, only available in here, and he's kind of neat. That, obviously, being the key element that you picked was the fact that he had a friggin' monofilamental mine. There's a hacker with Upgrade Trinity, which I think is kind of a cool profile.
So he used to have just be a hacker, and he was nice just as a hidden deployment hacker infiltration, right? And with MIM6, BS-12, combi rifle, he can somewhat fight as well, kind of just punch his way through things to like cheerleaders and stuff.
Right.
But with the Upgrade Trinity, it's just so nice because then he can do kind of everything that he wants. He can't go Cybermask, but he just go camo MIM6 as well, so it's fine. Yeah, I think the Trinity Razor hacker is
a very cool profile. He does everything.
Yeah.
He just does everything. Like he's a little baby Jazz.
Out of all of the O12 factions, none of the other ones have this guy. They don't have the infiltrating specialist. They all have versions. Like the Nightshade is like arguably better than him because it also can melee.
Right.
It pays a little bit more, but not that much. Actually, the Killer Hacker versions are the same.
But it's only Killer Hacker, not a regular hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like this guy
it.
gets a benefit over top of him to trade out the fact that he doesn't have super jump. He's not CC capable and all that, but he's real infiltration. But for me, it was like, there's like 2 dudes who have monofilament, maybe 3 monofilament mine layer.
This guy's one of them.
And this guy is one of them. And if all else fails, if someone jumps on my my MIM6 Blink team, he'll just come storming in with his Burst 3 shotgun and try and pry them off. Or he'll put a mine down around a corner and then walk around. You ever play the mine game against a tag? Only one of them's monofilament. Like the choice of, I guess I have to dodge now and just eat the boarding shotguns because you're going to die.
That's right. Yeah, you had a real problem if you fail that save.
Yeah. 60% of the time, you're just dead.
You're just dead. You just explode.
Mm-hmm. What's also nice about the Trinity one, or the hacker profile, it also has mines. It's not mine land.
Yeah. They've other mines. Literally all of them have mines, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Sorry, just the Ford Observer doesn't. The Ford Observer doesn't, but the rest of them have mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a neat profile.
Yeah. But monofilament mine. Monofilament mine's great.
You get hit once. This
unlocked Owen's inner. He's like, it's a crazy, super powerful thing. I have to use it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of asterisks on the back end of putting.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But it's more like the threat is there, and like as soon as I play it once, as soon as I play it once at an event or in just against somebody in the community that I play with, that will forever scar them, and they'll always remember that when I play O12 that there's a monofilament mine, and that some of those mine markers, and they're mines. You always know that they're mines.
Some of them are Moonrakers and Striders.
Little does he know, he draws closer to the poison donuts.
No, you don't get Striders.
No.
In this deck.
No.
Yeah, not in this
you could have the Nightshade Mine Layer, and he's 1 point more, but is also a specialist, and then has all the other stuff going for him, like I was saying. Right. So, like, I do think that the Nightshade rather is probably the better one.
He's a cool profile. Only get one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in keeping with the, I didn't use very much that hasn't existed before, but I did max out my fire teams. I took a not full 15, but my God, do I have a lot of cool fighting pieces. So I have a Cyber Ghost because if you can take a hacking device plus to throw out white noise, you do. And that picture lets me lay it down. And then I've later on got a Fuzzbot to reload him. And then my first duo is a double jackboot duo, NCO HMG and Paramedic. Because why the fuck not? For 50 points, I have a Bananas SR-1 Combat Instinct Immunity Enhanced Warhorse BS-13 HMG with plus
And a
one dice.
paramedic to kill him when he goes down.
And a paramedic to fix him when he goes down because he can't be shot because he's immunity enhanced. Then we've got a third member of that team, which is a Gamma with a Fearbach. Because when you're not bullying little pieces with an HMG on a jackboot, you send the plus one dice, plus one special dice Fearbach to go absolutely ruin its day. And as we talked about earlier, a burst 3.5 because he's got BS type plus one burst and a Fearbach is no joke. And this guy's got all the bells and whistles, right? Courage, immunity shock, no wounding cap, Warhorse, already 2 wound, arm 6, BTX 6. That's a horrifying little Harris right there. Then my first duo is Psycops. So I got a Psycop hacker with a Psycop multi-marksman rifle. This is a very cool get shit done little duo. So I got Disco Ball Killer hacking device. And then the one with the multi-marksman rifle has Discover +3 and a biometric visor. This guy can really hunt pieces down. A Whip 13 Discover +3 X visor means he ignores penalties for discovery at range. He's +3 to his whip. So he's discovering most things out of cover on 16s if they don't have mimetism. So he can really easily kill mines at range. There's a bunch of stuff that he can just like look at and then shoot. And they're all baked in specials too.
I'm interested how you chose the bio visor over the MSV1.
Because it's just Discover +3, but better.
It's just Discover +3 better, yeah. Yeah.
No, but MSV1.
No, the MSV1 is the better one. It's Discover +3, but better because it's all the time and lets you shoot through smoke.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I could.
I guess it's 1 more point, 2 more points.
Is it more expensive? Okay,
yeah.
that'd be a reason then.
It's extra point. And I'm right at 300. I've got, and also it doesn't get in the way of my white noise. The biometric visor doesn't get stopped by white noise, so I can shoot through white noise if I need to. Then I have a duo of Omegas. I have HMG and a multi-rifle FO. And that's
like
again
your other HMG, Fearbach, another HMG. Oh yeah, you're worried about white noise.
No. What I'm saying is
the one guy who actually doesn't
want
want to shoot through the white noise, which is funny. Because the Psycop has Mim, so like his Mim goes away against the white noise. So like out of all these guys, he's actually kind of the worst to fight through the white noise. Like the Gamma's the best. The Omegas and the Psycops are like different tiers of worse because they already have built-in defenses that the MSV guy's ignoring. So like why would you send them to fight the MSV guy with white noise? All it does is flatten it. Like you might as well just send the Gamma because it's just there's no benefit.
You needed the 1 point.
Anyway, sure. Yeah, whatever. It's 1 point. Go for it.
Okay. And then 2 Moonrakers, a Fuzzbot, and a Varangian. So maxing my order efficiency in group 1 because I have all of the NCOs and my lieutenant order gets to go to one of them. And then defensive pieces in the Moonrakers, the Fuzzbot and the Varangian sit in group 2, and the Varangian is going to be able to clear lanes of smoke if I need to clear lanes of smoke. And the Fuzzbot reloads my Cyber Ghost to throw out pictures. And that's it. It's my favorite points.
Yeah, it's a lot of big bad boys.
It is the. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is you get bad boy duos in this one. Let's talk about the units we didn't use. Nobody used the Alpha, and this is the only army he shows up in.
I used the Alpha.
Oh, you did use the Alpha. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
I had the Lynx in there for a long time too until I switched him for a second Razor.
Yeah, we didn't use blue coats in this one. I don't think anybody took a blue coat, or did you, Dan?
I mean, I took blue coats in Starmada, so
no, I know, but I'm just saying in this,
I took one little lonely blue coat.
Nobody took Cho, but we've already talked about her.
There's actually not very many.
Nobody took
there's
the Lynx. It was the
mind.
Lynx that you didn't use, right?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about stuff that is
AVA total kappas.
Yeah, sure. What I'm saying is, what things only exist in O12 Prime?
Okay.
Yeah,
and the first one is the Lynx.
The Lynx and Team Series. Yeah.
A lot of my lists in N4 had 2 Lynx.
They did, yeah, right at the beginning too.
Sniper Lynx I think MIM 6 snipers are really underrated because mostly
MIM 6 hidden deployment sniper too, so you can stick him in a tower and nobody knows where he is.
So the Link sniper, if you go first, you can get that surprise attack and hit something that's arrowing that hopefully doesn't have MSV2. But you got a Cyber Ghost for that. You can just surprise someone with surprise attack MM6, and you're like, how do you like with me in cover minus 12 mod, and you get minus 9 is painful, and multi sniper is just so it's just really good, but also defensively, they can go over and shoot at your Gamma Fuhrbach, and it's scary, and all of a sudden a Lynx multi-rifle can come out as well, and now you're fighting both. And you're like, there's a MIM 6 guy that if I hit, I kill. And then there's a BS14 Warhorse guy that if I hit, I probably won't kill, but it's also terrifying and I want to eliminate his dice. Yeah. And so it's like, you can really eliminate their attack pieces with the fun hidden deployment pop out with MIM 6 sniper. So he was in every other one of my lists, but really like it. And then also I like the specialist plasma carbine. The only plasma carbine I really wish it was plasma rifle because only burst 2.
The extra dice, yeah.
Prove it. So you're kind of really leaning on the MIM 6 surprise attack, and you have to start in your deployment. So it's like it takes a while to get up and do things.
Yeah. You're pushed back at the beginning. Yeah,
but he's got an assault pistol as well, so you can if they don't have templates, you're coming around with an assault pistol at M6. Pretty fun. Lynx is solid.
All right. Lynx is solid. Team Serious.
Team Serious is legit. This is one of the really good forward deploy guys in Infinity, in my opinion. Yep. 20 points, just good. You get 21 points if you want him to be a specialist, but that heavy riot stopper Serious spot, this is one of the I don't like Red Furies. I tend to not bring them at all, except for one, but it's a multi-Red Fury. But this is one of the few people who I would actually do it because the Serious spot is so fast and has such a devastating weapon.
He's a cheap Raptor. This guy's a Raptor for half the points, right? He gets to do the template plus shooting somebody with lots of dice. You got to choose, do you dodge or do you fight back?
He's different than the Raptor because it's not a flamethrower. There's a bunch of people who don't care about a flamethrower. Everyone cares about the riot stopper, the thing that Dan was saying in the previous episode around this it's just an adhesive launcher. This choice in the fight, if I had the choice with Maximus to shoot and take a flamethrower, I'll take the flamethrower. Go ahead.
Of course. Yeah.
I might fail against the riot stopper.
Yep. And then you're in trouble.
Then things get difficult. I have to make my dodge on a 10 and hope that you don't shoot me and blah, 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 blah. And then just the fact that this one can be its own hacker plus repeater in its own little package for 24 points with forward deploy, and then it has mimetism and it's a whip
28 hacker. If you want that Red Fury.
Yeah, but 24 if you want to do the hacking, which I think is legitimate as well, because you can also force them to make bad choices.
Right, you can fork it
that.
Right,
you can fork it on that.
You walk the Serious spot around the corner, 5-point investment. It's a repeater, and it's looking at you with a heavy riot stopper, and the hacker's getting his buttons ready, and they can only declare one.
Yeah. Do you want to reset? Or
you have to arrow first.
Yeah, it's a real bad choice.
Reset or dodge or shoot me, and no matter which one you pick the wrong one because I'm going to get to do whatever I wanted to do.
The other one's going to hit you, yeah. And if let's say you reset, you fail, and now you're adhesive and
isolated or spotlit or
and
whatever
now you're just
the problem
bricked. You know what I mean?
Or dodge and fail.
Yeah, you could carbonite
I think isn't the I was gonna say that's the one that fully screws you is the isolated and physically.
No, it's both IMs. If you get IM,
that's what I mean. It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
right.
You do carbonite and you do goo.
Yeah.
We just do both at once, right? You hit him with the
and you can't declare either. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has to be capable of being isolated or immobilized that way. It has to be heavy infantry.
Yeah. And so you pick who you're going after. But if it's the other person, if you just have a missile bot in your list and the Team Serious exists, that's a problem. Because now every fight becomes, I'm either going to get to spotlight you and then I'll missile you to death, or I'm going to goo you and then I'm going to shoot you to death. And you get to pick which way this is going to go.
Yep.
And I think that is if I wasn't all in on the meme of like omegas and gammas because I think they're neat, or razors for that matter, these guys are the like. I think this is your staple in your list.
It's a
And they're EVA too.
They are EVA too for not that many points.
Too bad they're really hard to find.
And they only come
Really?
Yeah.
I've been trying to find a second one for a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
All right. Well, let's talk about Quervo Goldstein, the Basilisk level Delta that nobody took. I want to like this guy so bad.
He's so much. He dropped like 10 points from like last season.
I know. He does everything. He's CC's like a monster. He's BS 13.
Not a specialist.
Armed 3, not a specialist, but no wounding cap on Vita 1. Stealth, super jump, jet propulsion, parachutist, martial arts 4, immunity shock, combat jump, courage. And he's got a boarding shotgun, decharges, chain colt, monofilamental or DACC PS4, which is bonkers, or submachine gun, acrolat cannon, decharges, and then pistol, monofilamental, DACC before. Like, he's so cool.
Situation that you'd actually use that monofilament weapon. I know your reflex is going to be, say, use it against a tag, but damage 4 on multiple burst melee attack,
so much
crits on 6s, is better than damage 8 1 save in many situations. I feel like
this is
and 2 dice,
and you got a YOLO.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have one order and you're going to go, I'm just going to do my super jump 6 into the back of your Yodam and I will just roll the monos and hopefully you fail. Because you could have to roll 4 saves against his monofilament. Like, that's possible because you can.
Yeah.
Odds don't look very good at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you're rolling 4 saves, that guy's probably going to die.
I mean, you're critting 1/3 of the time if they don't have martial arts or...
Yeah. Top down crits. Yeah, top down crits.
If it's not against Maximus.
Just another reason to play Maximus in every game. Goldstein jumps at him and he gets slapped into the ground.
Not in one hit.
On my list.
No, he'll kill you in one hit because he's DA and AP and
he goes. Oh yeah, he's DA. That's right. Yeah.
And also, if what's his name won, it was probably because he crit. So yeah, I if he had a gun, I'd be more sold.
Yeah, he used to have a breaker combi, didn't he? I think that's what they took away from him.
I can't remember.
I think he had a shotgun and a breaker combi. I think he was kind of armed like Hippolyta.
His guns are just so sad.
But that's why he dropped so many points, is they took his gun and gave an SMG instead. But he's always had the boarding shotgun. That's always been his main miniature as that gun.
He doesn't have a Viz mod. He doesn't have smoke. He doesn't have disco ballers. No. And he's not a specialist. And he can only fight at 8 inches.
That's why we don't take him. But he's so cool.
Like, I sure am a drop trooper. And then you go to more drop troopers who are equally bad.
There exists a universe where you can have fun taking them and he's not a complete meme. Well, before it was just nonsense.
It's disco balls. If you have disco balls, you can combine them with that. That's the only way. You'd have to shoot the disco ball to get him into place, like on his target, and then drop him next to it. And that's how you get him in.
Which, you do have a good disco ball in the Psycop. Like, the Psycop is BS 13. And they're the ones that can link still.
You can deliver them with a disco ball, no problem. Yeah. Yep.
But then the question becomes, of all of the things that I could deliver, why would I deliver him? Like, you have other guys out there.
Cool.
Like, the Nightshade is this guy, but just better.
Not kind of true.
Like
he starts on the board.
And he's EM. Just better than DA.
Uh-huh.
Now Maximus is nervous.
Yep.
Not martial arts 4, but close.
Yeah. Well, 3 is usually good enough, right? And then surprise attack. And he's better at getting there. And again, if you're going to use smoke, if you're using a disco ball to get him there, well, I could use a disco ball to get anyone there. And that's my...
Well, you just use camo to get him there with the Nightshade. You don't even need to.
Yeah. And so, if he just had a gun.
Give him a gun.
Or price him down even more. Make him 28 points or something.
He needs to be 28.
If he's unique to this faction, you could get rid of his armor. Just make him fast. Make him armor 1.
Yeah, make him armor 1. Do him like Shona, where he's
or even just save him his points in a bunch of places. Like, make his BS go down because he's not using it. It's just to close the gap, and then lower his armor, and then lower his points. And now he's melee man, and you don't even pretend to be anything else. Whereas right now he's a little bit a good shot, who cares? Like, that's my problem with him.
Yeah, you're trying to do too many things, and he's not good enough.
Like, I feel
I
like
think
5 points is 1 less BS, 2 less armor.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the right number.
Yeah. We talked about the gamma. You get
There's nothing else.
2 Hellblazers.
There's deltas.
We've talked about Hellblazers.
I skipped way
and
far.
Hellblazers we've used in other factions.
Yeah.
We didn't use them though.
Well, we're going back. Deltas.
We're on Deltas.
Deltas.
Yeah. Little Goldsteins.
Oh, it's like they're so close to being awesome, but I can't. I don't know how to fit them in a list.
Yeah. They're basically jump versions of the Lambda, right? So you have the Doctor version, which can take a Ude bot even that jumps, which is kind of cool. You get an FO, you get a hacker. They're all gunned up with, combis and boarding shotguns if you need them to like actually fight. They're too many points.
They have a Spitfire and they have a Panzerfaust, but they went to BS12 instead of saying 13. Yeah. If they had stayed BS 13, he's like, oh, that's a not bad gun to come at you from the side.
Yeah, and no Vismod either. Like, they're not like a Tiger Soldier that's got that and also has
or the Yellow Jacket, or yeah.
So they just kind of lose out to even things in their own factions.
I think the 19-point side swiping Panzerfaust or boarding shotgun is like possible. That could be something cool, but it would really come down to what kind of scenario you're playing.
Yeah.
What
it'd be a thing to put in your pocket.
Like, so you can when you combat jump in, is it one trooper that can land on the line, or is it one order?
One trooper. So like you'd roll for the Yud bot.
Or roll for the Doctor and not
place the Yud bot. Yep.
Because it's like, this is something like where if you're like your alpha is like deep in enemy lines, because your gammas have no wounding cap, so you're just going to fight to the death.
Yep.
But if your gamma goes down and they're like, that's just a corpse, I'll just leave it alone. It's fine. There's no Doctor on the board that I can see. And all of a sudden the U-Bot goes, it runs over and it's like, get up, buddy. And then the Alpha's like, I'm in your back now, bitches. I've had that, that scenario play like 100 times in my head. I'm like, that would be so cool. And I've never done it. That's the only, that's like the highlight of a Delta.
There's another combat jump trooper. Like, all the combat jump troopers are like super niche, super specific. Every faction we talk about. Then there's like one who rises out of the mud and is like, oh, that's really cool, like Jamie. But then that's their whole, like, they're a whole thing. They could have not had combat jump, and there's a solid, like, this is just a good trooper. And combat jump just kind of spices it up a little bit.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Other than that, there's gangbusters, but Dan brought them. And then razors. I brought those.
We didn't talk about gangbusters though, did we?
Yeah, Dan brought them.
Oh, did we?
We didn't really talk about them
though. That's further down the line.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Well, just kind of going over like in
stuff we didn't really talk about. That's all. Yeah.
The Epsilon we talked about in Starmada.
In Starmada, yeah.
But it can't wait. And so it's just kind of by itself. It's the MSV2 MIM, either sniper, shot marksman rifle, heavy machine gun.
Yeah.
It's because of the links now, or the not the links, but the links. Groups of people you can bring together.
Teams.
Yeah, Epsilon's probably not worth bringing by himself.
Because he's not in any of those league teams. So, you can't take two of them either. So you wouldn't, even if he was.
Nimrod, probably for the same reason, another MSV2 min guy, but can link, but can't get a bonus in the link. It can only be in the duo.
Yep.
Again, you can bring a couple of Hellblazers, but they're just kind of roaming around on their own. So if you think they're good enough to bring on their own, you have access to them. We didn't really talk about the Omega.
He's a mim -6. He's what the whatchamacallit, the
he's a budget mim 6 infantry.
He's a budget mim 6 like heavy infantry gunfighter. So he's almost this like what's the one in Yuching called, Dan, that we never would take? The Haktao.
He's like the
Swiss guard.
The Swiss guard, right?
But this guy's BS 14. You see, if the Haktao was like this and was cheap, he'd be worth taking. Because this guy's 37 points for like a multi-rifle FO.
Look, the Haktao and the Swiss Guard are way better for so many reasons, but you pay for it.
No,
Okay,
they're
so
not.
this just strips down
this
all
guy-
the unnecessary stuff.
This guy
You
is
a
like
budget Mim 6 fighter with multiple wounds, armor 4, and BS 14.
yeah.
He was solid before in O12, just as a solo piece, and now that you can give him some special dice, he's even more solid.
The fact that the hack Tau is now more expensive than a Swiss card just blows my mind. But like,
Yeah,
what are you? BS 15, Mim 6.
I have two painted.
Well,
and
I'm
they're
BS
rough.
14, but I can be a specialist. Yeah, me too. Like, I think the Omega is everything that the hack Tau I would want from a hack Tau.
Yeah.
Because like the hack Tau, I would want to bring it to be the gunfighter. And like obviously I would also take this over the Swiss card. Like this guy would be great in Pano. He'd be like perfectly fine other guy to add to the horrendous list of 40-ish point super soldiers that they have. Because yeah, he like him not having stealth and the other ones having stealth is a big deal because he's hackable and susceptible to it. But he gets a firewall all by himself, and he doesn't even bring anyone to do that. And so all of a sudden, his slightly worse stat line, because I think the others are BTS 6 and he's only BTS 3.
Yeah.
He's as good as they are, but he's inflicting a mod stack against the enemy. Like that -3 to whip is a big deal because
and he's whip 14 on his resets, which the Pano one is not.
No, and I don't think the hack Tau is either. I think
it
they're
might be
13 as well.
I think it might be 13. Yeah.
Like they're both kind of in a situation. Oh no, he's 14. I looked it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess the other two are 6'2".
He strips out all the extraneous shit. That's the thing is he's just a fully stripped down Mim 6 heavy infantry. It's shock immune, but it keeps the super relevant stats. Like it keeps the BS, it keeps the equipment, and it keeps the armor, right? So like you're losing the points off of all the kind of like bells and whistles, like stealth and special skew and stuff like that. But you keep all the important things. Yeah, he's like
I have two painted, and now I want a third.
The fact that the freaking Gamma can link is such a big deal in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
because like there wasn't a world that I saw where you'd bring a Gamma in N4. Like it wasn't because he was bad. He's basically the same as he is now. Like he didn't have Warhorse. Well, okay, whatever. But the fact that he can get that extra dice and like hit that cap, like he can hit the 6 dice maximum in Infinity, is just crazy. Like other factions have to pay so much to get there, and the fact that you can link him with like a bunch of really cool duos on top of that, like you could do a Silver Star duo and have him get his firewall and a bunch of tack awares right off the bat, or you could give him jack boots and then he can get paramedics and mine clearers or hacker clearers because jack boots don't give a shit about.
That's what I did. Yeah, that's what they're
like, or you pair him with the Vidox, which is the budget to give him that extra dice without spending.
And then it's just dirt cheap.
Having a doctor.
Yeah, and then you go that route, and then now you have just the really cheap version of it, and it's like he's very like that's such a big change to vanilla from the previous one.
Oh,
it's like
so I mentioned before.
It's like you got even fightier wreckers. You got even fightier wreckers basically, right? Because like he's the point cost of a wrecker, cheaper than a wrecker, but fights like a wrecker, and he's got the same armor.
So at the beginning of the show, I said the 2 Gammas are doing together, but they can't. Only 1 Gamma is allowed per fire team.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I asked.
It's the Gamma Fearbach.
The Omegas can double up. Yeah, the Omegas can.
And then when I want to go fight, I switch up the fire team to put the other Gamma in charge.
The Omegas can triple up if you want, even.
That was my original list. It was just 3 Omegas. It was HMG, Forum Observer, and Firewall. Yeah, and that was just the 3 of them. Because they're cheap. They're
120 points. 120 points for
so low for what you. Even if you don't bring the HMG, just bring the 3 37 for 111 points, and that is a legitimate gang. All they have to do is close the gap, and you could even bring a Gamma just by himself in the background, waiting for his opportunity, just so he can clear the path for them. Or you can use what are they called, Psychops, and shoot disco balls, and let them get up using that. And then as soon as you're in close range, like you hack them, I guess. You know, so you have visors. Like,
so how do we feel about O12 then? Because the neat thing is we're still talking about the ways you can mix and match their fire teams, which is an interesting thing for a vanilla faction. And 2, they get some unique profiles that we really like. Like we like a lot of these guys. We like the Omega a lot. We like the whatchamacallit, the
Well, let's quickly fresh out the gangbuster.
oh yeah, let's finish them up. Yeah.
So I bring the killer hacker device almost always. You get Mind Layer with mad traps. He's just got a submachine gun, but he does have MSV and mimetism. So not a terrible gunfighter. It was better when submachine guns could get AP.
Yeah, he's sort of the
basically
O12 version of he's sort of the O12 version of the what's he called? Not the Locust. There's a Pano guy that's kind of like this, Owen. Remind me what his name is. He's in the new Pano faction.
What are we talking about?
There's a guy, the Scarecrow. He's kind of like a Scarecrow.
I mean, the Scarecrow beats the pants off this guy, but
No, for sure. But this guy's cheaper.
This guy's closer to like a Zulu Cobra.
Zulu
Go.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking
like
of.
Zulus
Zulu
and
Cobras-
Hecklers are
Zulus and
probably in the
Hecklers.
same world as this guy. Yeah.
It's just he's budget. He can throw down mad traps, and mad traps are just annoying to deal with in the midfield. Because it's that sticky ammo, pair ammo, and you can hide it. So it's like really hard to shoot it on the way up. You kind of have to deal with it or have someone that can dodge pretty well. And then he's just a specialist that starts on the line. He can get killed pretty easily. It's hard to keep him alive. But there
That's
are
all
situations
skirmishers.
where you can kind of put him in where, I think he's super solid. The other options are just budget for 17 points. You just get a boarding shotgun and chain colt. You get that template, which is nice, and the boarding shotgun, so because you're fighting him close anyways. And then the other option is the combi rifle light riot stopper. You also get the Mind Layer with mad traps, and then you get a light riot stopper, but you also get a combi, so you can fight a little bit more.
And you can turn into well, you can also mark her state with a killer hacking device. You can turn into Cyber Mask, which is cool.
with the killer, and it's fun that it's 22 points. I think it's before when bringing vanilla was tough because of order efficiency, because you couldn't take any fire teams. Gangbuster was really good quality of I start halfway up the board, and so I don't need that order efficiency. But now that it has other fire teams and the game has changed a bit, they're kind of I don't see them as a must take anymore, but I still think they're solid.
I think Moonrakers ate this guy's lunch.
Yeah.
It's
You think both?
Sure, but the Moonrakers are like 10, like, some of them are 10 points cheaper, and
There is something to be said about the fact that you can bring duos of Varangians with smoke, and this dork can shoot through that smoke innately.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you can pick some fights that you otherwise couldn't pick. Like even if you brought the 17 or 27 point or 22 point guy, you could just shoot your SMG through the smoke at somebody, and they could be like incredibly mod stacked because it means that they don't have a visor.
You can
So
shoot
they're
your templates through it.
Well, you don't shoot a template because then they could template you back. It means you're too close. But if they don't, or if they don't have a template, but if they don't have a template, or if they do have a template but you're far enough away, they're neg 12 off the bat before range bands or anything else, because it's 6 for the smoke, 3 for your mimetism, 3 for your cover, and you might be hitting on like a 9 or maybe worse. Like you might be hitting on 6s.
Yep.
You're probably shooting on 0s.
It's basically
and
free
you're
dice.
bad. But it's
basically
shooting
free
on
dice.
6s, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like a BS12 guy just can't shoot you back.
No.
And that's pretty good. Not
It's
going to
cool
come up
trap.
that often, but it exists, and the fact that he does have that visor just opens that door to him. Like a lot of the O12 guys who get visors and mimetism.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty awesome.
I think the craziest thing about O12's vanilla in particular is they have a fire team Harris that is just a straight power fire team. Like they just kill you. Like they don't play like in all of the other ones we've talked about, in Ariadna, in Yuching, in Pano, they have all of these fire teams, but most of them are like maneuverability bonuses. So like the Dokube plus somebody moves the Dokube around, or like the Helots become regular when they're with Patsy Garnet, or like things like that. And then you come to O12 and their vanilla list has a Harris team that has a burst 6 HMG, who doesn't otherwise get that. And he's linking with multiple whatever you want. Of like, do you want it cheap? Do you want it supportive? Do you want them to be also Mim 6 heavy infantry? And like, you don't at least you don't really, I don't see it in the other factions because it's not how any of us did our vanillas. They all turned into like tag lists, or you would do a really cheap stuff like the Dynamos or the Highlanders or Frontovniks or something like that. Like you do the Vet Kazakh one, but like a Vet Kazakh is not a gamma. Like the gamma is so much above a Vet Kazakh. Not that Vet Kazakhs are bad per se, but like if you have a choice, do you want to get shot by the MIM3 HMG or do you want to be shot by the Burst 6 HMG who you have to do 3 wounds to kill? Like, I just think it's something neat about O12's vanilla list.
Yeah.
And
I'm really selling myself on jackboots.
Yeah, they're great. I love jackboots.
Well, the reinforcement box gives you 3.
Yeah, there's a reason to get those sweet reinforcements.
You can never use more than 2, but you can have 3.
Sure can have 3.
Yeah.
So then what are we gonna do next, guys? If we've wrapped this up, what is our next, and why is it not going to be Toha? And what haven't we done? So we have done, at this point, we've done Pano, we've done Yuching, we've done Ariadna, we've done Nomads, we've done
O12 and JSA.
O12 and JSA. Have we done combined?
Yeah, we did combine.
We did combined.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did combined.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did combined.
Oh, yeah.
So we haven't done
Bring
Hack.
the Guilo, because the Guilo is worth bringing.
We haven't done Hack, and we haven't done Aleph, and we haven't done Toha. There's 3 remaining ones of these for us to do.
2 remaining ones.
Using that logic,
2 remaining ones to do.
he didn't even address the fact that like Druze and back garbage exists, so I'm not going to address the fact that Toha exists, and we'll meet in the middle, and it'll be either Hak Islam or Aleph, and we can write off a bunch of dead factions.
Oh, fair enough.
But somebody went and won some event using White Company. Yeah, you can win an event with any faction. It doesn't matter.
It's true. You can. If people show up and are bad.
If you bring all the best models from other factions, you're right.
You're right. Then you can make a good list. So we've done a 3-peat. I think we should do Aleph.
It's Aleph or Hak Islam.
I think we do Aleph because Hak Islam's a big bite. Hak Islam's 4. Aleph is 3.
We're lazy.
We are lazy.
Start with Aleph.
We just did 3. All right. Hak Islam. We get Hak Islam out of the way.
Has such a glow up. Like they didn't deserve it, but they sure got it.
They were already good. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They were already good. And it just got better.
There's no like we're definitely not gonna have the conversation of like, boy, what happened to Hak Islam? It's just like Ariadna, because that is not what happened to them at all.
Hak Islam is really, what do you feel like playing with? Do you want to take heavy stuff? Play Rama. Do you want to take weirdos and warbands and killer super guns? Take Kapakalki. Do you want to be sneaky? Play Assassins. You want to do all of it?
Then they hit you with the secret, and then it's like, actually, all of them can do all of them. Welcome to the age of the new Azrael, and welcome to the Boktar and Asawira. And it's like, oh god, like, hello, this is Tarek and the Kawarj.
Do these guys really get 2 planes?
Yeah, they do. They get 2 planes.
Oh man, what an age to be alive. Yeah. The Hatham Arrow unit and the Zabak Arrow unit. Why not just have 2 planes?
The Zabak is my favorite plane
because it transforms.
Pretty structured.
It has so many wounds.
He's got 3 wounds and Albedo 6, and he's armor 5. He doesn't get a MIM. He doesn't get any of that. He's just got to fight people without cover. So like everyone's gonna shoot him on better odds.
He's Iron Man. Like he's literally just like an Iron Man suit flying around, and then when he gets wounded, he falls out. Yeah, he's just Albedo.
And then he's just a dude running on the ground with a Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yep. And the craziest thing is I'm pretty sure he's AVA 2 in one of the sub factions.
Yeah, he's only 1 in this one. They're both 1 in vanilla, but maybe it's 2 in the next one.
I bet you it's Rama.
It's Rama. It's gonna be Rama.
Nope, it's not. It's only 1. I'm wrong. Oh wait, is it Assassins? It better not be.
It better be. That'd be very funny if it was.
Assassins doesn't get a plane. Good. they don't need a plane. They got everything now.
No, they do. They get Zabaks and Hathams.
Not in Assassins.
I might look at the wrong thing. I must have clicked.
So we're gonna do. Yeah,
you're right. They're not gonna plane.
Hak Islam?
Fine, we'll do Hak Islam. It makes sense. And the order will be QK, Assassins, Rama, Hack, because that's oldest to newest. So starting with QK, the original sectorial.
I'm excited
First
to
and
make
only.
the day of recording. I'll report that.
Yeah, but now you know that you can just bring an Azrael, the bane of wreckers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I played a couple games where it was like, I'm an Azrael. I have an AP continuous damage gun. I'm like, so do I. And it was 2 games. One I hit the Azrael just died in 1 order. Next game, opposite. Wrecker died in 1 order.
But you can take 3 Azraels.
And they can link with everyone.
And they can link with everybody. 3 continuous damage Azraels with Fearbox. And watch the world tremble.
You can't link them with your double trip hammer, though.
But
Hey,
you
look,
can link
Ashley,
them
you
with
could bring a
themselves.
Shakoosh. You could bring a Shakoosh.
Shakoosh is good
choice.
now. Shakoosh
he's
is
not.
good now.
No, he's
He's
not.
good now. Because continuous damage HMG.
Who doesn't? The Azrael has a continuous damage HMG, but his is also AP.
Hey now. Isn't
Man.
this guy cheaper?
Not compared to the Wrecker. The Shakoosh is much more expensive.
That's fair. He's less expensive than 3 Azraels.
He's got that going for him.
You just take 3 Azraels together, and he's less than that. You can get two Shakushes for the price of 3 Azraels. Literally, like exactly that. It's the same thing.
The Fearbach or the HMG? The HMG, right? You're comparing.
You get 2.
Look,
if you get
the story
2
of the day is-
HMGs,
O12 is fun.
Yes.
O12 is
We're
great.
going to talk about assassins, which are
Assassins,
Hackathon,
that's right.
the more exciting faction. Look at all these things. Did we forget any of them? Yeah, we did. We forgot this one
because we got
forgot that one.
excited talking about assassins.
But anyway, let me tell you about the Azrael.
We're the best at this. All right, back
The
next
Gamma
week.
is really cool, except for the Azrael's just better.
Back next week with Azraels and QK. Bye, everybody.
Bye.